Listen, I was born for it.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We got the boys from Hardball Unlimited here. This is Sports Talk with Hardball Unlimited. It's been a while.
We're back.
We're happy to be back.
We're back. And listen, before we get started, I want to say thank you to everybody that reached out and ordered the American Girl t-shirts. Sold out within a week. First shirt we put out, boom, gone.
And definitely stay tuned. We got a lot of things this summer.
Yeah,
we're gonna be getting into and doing some.
I heard we're selling a Cookie Monster shirt.
Oh, are we?
That's what I heard.
I like it. Cookie Monster shirt.
Also, hey, one of our sponsored 10U teams, the Stampede, finished runners-up in the gold division. Shout out to those guys. They had a third place finish and Toronto with a second place finish. So looking up for them.
For sure.
They're hot.
They're hot.
Red hot. So today, a lot of softball talk, some baseball talk. So we'll just jump right in. We're going to start off talking some local softball. I think everybody's done now, right? Locally, we don't have anybody left.
Nobody's left.
Nobody left.
We gone.
So
we gone.
We did a hardball team, all hardball team. So we're going to jump into that right after we talk about some conference. So we had a really tough Firelands conference this year. What did you say, Chad?
Yeah.
Yeah? What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, listen, I think the Firelands Conference is looking bright. I mean, there was a lot of teams that were competing in it last 2 years.
For sure. So if we're talking softball, first team co-players of the year, we had Abby Poth and Sophie Durbin. Then Chaz Patton, Heidi and Holly Earl, Madison Rowland, Chloe Trine, Mackenzie Back, Jalen Branham, Kaylee Richard, and Claire Hickey and Sydney Prince. And I'd say that's pretty accurate. Wouldn't you agree?
I think that's a very good first team.
Yeah, strong first team for sure. Second team, we had PJ Endicott, Cameron Hurst, Taryn Tyler, Emily Sheed, Madison Reber, Avery Rouser, Emily Rowland, Gracie Thomas, Bree Fellows, Alyssa Horn, Lydia Chafee, Kirsten Hammonds, and Brooklyn Prince. I'd say that's also a strong list.
I tell you, I think that's how stacked the Firelands Conference is, because there's a lot of kids that, we had to do special, take some time on trying to figure out how to get those girls out, and they made second team.
Well, sure. Cameron Hurst from Monroeville made second team all Firelands Conference, made first team all district, and second team all state of Ohio.
Yeah. That's how tough.
And she had an ERA under 2.
Right.
Your co-coaches of the year, Joe Thomas and Abe Homesteader, is that right?
Yeah.
Is that how you say it? Is that right?
We'll go with it. Sorry, Abe.
So we'll jump in though. So Hardball did the whole all around Richland, Ashland, Huron County, Crawford, all area team. We'll start off with our pitcher. We picked Taylor Morgan from Hillsdale.
Yeah, Taylor Morgan, she's dominant, right? I mean, 1.32 ERA. Hitters hit 164 against her. And, I mean, they had a legitimately gauntlet of a district and a regional to try to get out of. And, I mean, she pitched great. They just couldn't make some plays behind her that hurt. But Taylor Morgan, always, I'll take her any day.
Yeah, absolutely. We got to see her at the All-Star game last year.
Yeah, she's dominant.
Yeah, she's dominant.
She moves the ball so well.
She does. And
she throws hard and she moves the ball really good.
For sure. Next up, we had catcher Olivia Schultz.
Listen, not only is that kid good defensively, she just straight rakes. Straight rakes. She had a .534, a batted average with 10 doubles, 3 triples, 7 home runs, and 48 RBIs on a really good Madison squad. She was right in the middle of that.
Yeah, she produced a lot of offense for them.
She did.
Yeah.
And next up, we had Renee Andrews.
Listen, I think everybody, any coach that says they wouldn't take his kid is a liar. Not only good defensively as an infielder, a .540, a batting average, 15 doubles, 46 RBIs with 10 home runs. I was a big fan of this watching.
Yeah, in a really tough pitching conference.
Absolutely.
To dominate in that conference is...
Yeah. Getting to watch her at MVD,
yeah, she can flat out right.
Yeah, she can.
Next up, we had Haley Lang.
Yeah, Haley Lang again, Who wouldn't take Haley Lang?
Right.
Going to Ohio State, hit over 574. Amazing catcher. Switches, I'm going to guess because it was a need, goes to shortstop, plays lockdown shortstop, over 30 RBIs, 8 home runs. She's going out with Kennedy K.
Right.
She'll be a Buckeye. Let's get excited.
Next up, we got to see this young lady up close and personal. She did some damage for sure. Abby Pope.
Yeah, Monroeville. I mean, we get to see her twice a year for another year. I mean, listen, she really does it all. Like, I think she's going to Findlay, so shout out to her for that. But I mean, 593, 40 RBIs, 16 doubles, and like when she gets on, it's a triple. I mean, her delayed steal game, she's so fast and.
At one point I looked up, she was like number 4 in the state for steals at 32 or something like that, like halfway through the season.
Yeah, you don't want to hit her a ground ball because it's an out.
It's an out every time.
I mean, has a good arm. I mean, I don't know what else you would want in a first team girl outside of Abby Poth. So,
next up, another girl we get to see twice a year, Sophie Durbin.
yeah, listen, I mean, there's a lot of good shortstops in the Firelands Conference.
That's a fact.
I mean, Anders has obviously put up ridiculous numbers, but I mean, Sophie Durbin, co-player of the year with Abby. I mean, 577, 18 RBIs, 4 home runs. I mean, just rakes at the top of that lineup.
For sure.
And plays great defense.
Yeah, she does.
And she can run.
Yeah. Well, she does a job too because she got hitters behind her. Like she knows what her role is and she did it well.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, she finds the barrel, she makes hard contact. She's a tough out.
Yeah, for sure. Next up, we move to outfielders. We got Melody Blueball.
Yeah, again, another Clear Fork girl that just absolutely rakes. 591, almost hit 600, 23 RBIs, 11 doubles, 4 triples, hit 4 home runs. Her and Anders back-to-back is scary. To put them 2 600 hitters back to back,
Yeah.
with the power they have. I mean, I don't. Is she a senior? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know either. But if they're not, that conference is in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
For sure. Next up, we got Taylor Mullins.
Yeah, 478, batting average with 36 RBIs, 8 doubles, a triple, and 12 home runs. Talking to Coach Snow, like this girl's the heart of that offense. They go around her. What she does is really leads that team offensively. And like again, we talked to Coach Snow, and he just kept telling me how important she is. When he did the Player of the Week for Hardball, I kept calling Mullins. I mean, she was huge for them for a long run that they had.
Well, for sure, and for a long run that, what was it, 37 years or something like that?
Yeah,
A district title.
Yeah, listen, she might be one of the best. I mean, she's definitely one of the best players in the area, if not the best player in the area. Like, to watch her play is, she can play.
Yeah.
Next up, we have another girl we get to see twice a year, Chloe Trine.
How do you get that girl out? 600 batting average, like just she's tough. Like she's the clock, and she's on. She starts a mess offensively as hitting, slapping, hitting for an average, base stealing, defensively, just a great outfielder, just an all around good ball player. And I think you look at some of her numbers, it doesn't do her justice because she is a leadoff hitter, but 36 hits, 26 runs with 3 triples. She's real deal.
Well, listen, I will not miss trying to get her out. She's just, she's a handful.
She's a handful.
To get out because she can slap, she can power slap, she can lay down bunts. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to get her out.
It is
consistently.
Next up, we had our one honorable mention, Kaylee Richards.
What I was trying to think about doing, how do you do an honorable mention for a team like this, is what this kid should mean something, and this girl could be a great shortstop, she'd be a great catcher, she'd be a great third baseman, she'd be a great center fielder. Like, kid can play in multiple positions, and not only that, hitting 405 batting average with 34 hits, 31 runs, and 8 doubles. Like, she really started the Trojan offense.
Absolutely, yeah. Listen, You can put her anywhere, and she's going to play her heart out.
Yeah, and be above average at every position.
Absolutely.
You just throw her there. She's never played it before, and she's still going to be above average.
and
Great glove.
That's a great thing to say, too. We got 4 shortstops on this list.
Yeah, I mean...
And there's probably more that could be.
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, Haley Lang isn't even a shortstop, and she played shortstop at a really high level.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you're going to D1. She's obviously going to Ohio State. Probably good to have a couple positions in your back pocket.
Seems like those D1 athletes can play more than one spot.
For sure.
Well, I mean, it's athletes, right? At the end of the day.
It is. Yep, it is.
I mean, unless you throw it 72 and can move it around, you better know how to play some positions.
You got to be an athlete.
Yeah.
Well, that's the hardball list. So we're gonna move on. We're gonna talk about some state semifinals we got coming up. Believe it's Division 1. We have Anthony Wayne playing Watkins Memorial, and then Austintown Fitch playing Lebanon.
Wow.
You know anything about them, Chad?
I know that Anthony Wayne is a softball giant in the state of Ohio, so... But, I mean, Watkins Memorial, they can play too. So, I mean, I think that'll be an absolute war. Because they can both... Like, if you go back through the bracket, they really score a lot.
When you get to this part of the year, everybody's elite. Everybody's good. You don't get too many that sneak in by accident when you get to this part of it.
No.
And we'll move on to D2. We have Canfield playing Steubenville. A 5 seed made it. And Talmadge playing Greenville. You know anything about them, Chad?
No.
No?
I mean, I know where they're located.
Next up, D3, we have Johnstown Monroe playing Indian Lake. Wheelersburg playing South Range.
Canfield South Range, yeah.
Good.
They're supposed to be legit. We'll see. I mean, they took everybody out, so...
And those are all number 1 seeds. That's the only bracket, I believe, that's all number 1 seeds. And lastly, we got Hopewell Loudon and Parkway, and Strasburg and Gibsonburg. Chad's been on the Hopewell Loudon kick for a while.
Well, I mean, if you look at Hopewell Loudon, like, when I went to the district meeting, they had like 6 girls make first team all district. And their pitchers has unbelievable stats. So I don't know where they play at. But, I mean, apparently they played Norwalk St. Paul earlier in the year and beat them up. But, I mean, so I don't even know where they're from, but their stats would tell you that they can really play. Yeah. I don't know how to pronounce their pitcher's name, or I would, but she has like a .47 ERA.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back, and we'll jump into some more softball, baseball talk. All right, and we are back. So
We are back.
We
It's good to be back.
It's great to be back. It
It's
feels
great.
good.
It does.
Like, I haven't seen Chad in like a week and a half, and it's been too long.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm like, wow, I haven't seen this guy forever. But
Yeah. So we'll move on up. All right, we'll move out of some high school softball, and we'll talk some college softball. We got some big games coming up.
Oh, yeah. College World Series.
College World Series.
my favorite time of the year.
All right, we need to make a trip down there one of these years.
I
think so.
I was thinking about going last year, or like next year, and I was looking this year on like tickets. They're like $400 a game. Like, I thought it was going to be like, oh, come watch the College World Series. It's fun here. It's $35.
No,
It's
No,
big
it's not.
time now.
It's big time.
big time. So we're gonna do some picks for you and talk about each outing. First up, we got OU and Stanford.
I mean,
OU?
Oklahoma is just
yeah.
stupid. I honestly think there's only one team on this list that could beat them.
I think there's one team on that list that could beat them.
One team. That's
One
it.
team.
We'll talk about that later.
We will. But it ain't going to be Stanford.
no.
It ain't gonna be Stanford.
Not gonna be Stanford.
It's unanimous across the board that Oklahoma's won that one.
Well, listen, Oklahoma's just top to bottom. I mean, Jada Coleman might be the best player in the country, and she hits leadoff. And then, here comes Tiari Jennings, here comes Haley Lee, Kinsey Hansen. I mean, how clutch is that? Down to your last strike.
No.
Because I thought to myself, boy, I'll tell you what, if they lose and they give Valerie Cagle a shot in an elimination game, you might not go to the World Series. Down in the final strike, this is over. 0-2, bomb. You're winning the ball.
What's crazy to me, too, is I honestly think they could play their twos and they'd probably get to this point. Their twos. And get to this point. I don't think they're going any further, but I think they could get to this point. That's just how stacked their talent pool is right now.
Well, listen.
And they're the football, Alabama, softball, OU. They're just better athletes.
Well, I mean, listen, Stracco dominated the Big Ten at Michigan. And her 5th year, she's like, yeah, I'll just go to Oklahoma and get a national. I'll go get a natty. Sure. So, I mean, and she's probably your 3rd best pitcher.
Yeah.
I mean, you're playing to go to the Women's College World Series, and they're like, yeah, we'll throw Nicole May. She'll get the job done. Oh, okay.
Did she get the job done?
She did.
That's right. That's all that matters, right?
But I mean, that's what I'm saying. They don't even have to throw their one every game. And from super regionals, that's really kind of what I took away. I watched probably 95% of the games. Teams didn't always throw. Alabama didn't always throw Montana fouls. There's a lot of other girls that got shots to come in and
for sure
in big spots.
Yeah.
Next up, we got Florida State and Oklahoma State.
Yeah, I mean,
I think this is actually I think this is the best matchup.
I do too. I think it's going to be the
most competitive games.
Well, Kelly Maxwell can really she might be the best pitcher in college softball until she plays Oklahoma's offense, because no pitcher is better than Oklahoma's offense. But yeah, listen, I like the way Florida State plays. Florida State's gritty. They're tough. They're fast. Nobody really stands out on their whole team.
Right.
But Mudge is really good, and I mean, they got some girls that can flat out play softball.
For sure. What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, I think Florida. I don't think it'll be easy, but Florida State. Yeah.
Well, I say all that about Florida State. I'm taking Oklahoma State.
I'm also taking Oklahoma State.
Because I just think their pitching's better.
Yeah.
Although Sandra Cox good.
Next
I'm taking Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State.
By a million.
No. 5-4.
They could throw the ball girl and they'd win that game.
No, they would not. They would not. Because he's being ridiculous.
Next up, we got Washington and Utah.
The Utes.
Utah can hit.
Utah can hit.
Yes, they can.
The ball sounds different coming off of their bats. I don't know, maybe they're swinging a different kind of bat I don't know about. But I was listening to them
could be shaped.
Every girl's a rocket? Every girl hits a rocket here in Utah?
You know, I'm kind of interested in this series because Utah can hit, and Washington is so good defensively. They make every freaking play. Even with girls on, they seem to make every play that gets them out of a situation. And this is another one I think I'm kind of excited to see. I think it'll be evenly matched.
I think it'll be a good game. I mean, yeah, it comes down to, can Utah hit their pitcher?
For sure.
I like Washington.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Utes in this one.
Washington.
Yeah, they're just too experienced. The Utes kind of young. Washington been there before. Yeah. I'll take experience. So.
Next up, we have Tennessee versus Bama. The only team I can believe can beat Oklahoma is Tennessee.
That's who I believe is the only team. Kiki Malloy can.
Yep.
That girl can flat out play.
Yeah.
And that girl they have in the mound, that Godshelter or whatever her name is, she can throw.
Yeah.
So I think they could hit with Oklahoma.
But they got to beat Bama first.
Oh, I think they beat Bama.
I do too.
Listen, I like Patrick Murphy, and I've liked everything about him and how he's ran his team. But yeah, I think this is it for him.
Well, they can't score.
No, they can't.
They cannot score. They don't hit the ball out of the park.
Mm-hmm.
They don't get big innings, so they need
dominant pitching.
They need Montana Fouts to be better than they need freshman Montana Fouts.
Right.
And she's hurt. She hyperextended her knee.
It could be a different story if that never happened.
I think it's going to be a 2 in barbecue.
I agree.
For Bama.
I agree. But yeah, I honestly think Tennessee's the only team that Oklahoma could fear.
Yeah, I didn't think Oklahoma would beat Northwestern.
It was, good ball game for a long time.
Super regional. Yeah, it went to game 3.
No.
That girl, I like Northwestern. They played hard. And that girl only throws like 61 miles an hour. And she had Alabama, like, they just could not hit the change up.
For sure. Yeah. So that's softball talk. I'm sure we'll have more next week.
Oh, yeah.
And you know who wasn't in that conversation? UCLA.
They were not.
What the hell happened to UCLA?
Fell off the map.
Grand Canyon University and Liberty? Woo! Just saying, if they're hiring.
Liberty or
UCLA?
But yeah, we'll move on. We're gonna talk some baseball talk. Way back, you guys might remember, months and months and months ago.
Here we go.
We made some bold predictions.
Oh, yeah.
We made some very bold predictions. I believe it went the San Diego Padres, the New York Yankees, and New York Yankees.
I think I picked the Braves, but we'll have to. I think we should check the film. I think I picked the Braves.
Well, you were all on the Padres train though.
That's correct.
Yeah, like when you were on the Kirk Cousins train,
I was on the Kirk train.
and then he was on the Padres train. What's going on with your Padres?
I'm still on the Padres train. They can't pitch.
They can't score.
Well, they can't score either, but
They have. If you look on
they're
paper,
a second half team.
you look on paper, they should be the most dangerous team in baseball. On paper,
Yeah.
and they're not. They're bad.
Well, they're not good. I mean, no, they're not good.
No. What do they need to fix, Chad?
Well, they need to be able to hit. I would get a hitter.
Wait a minute. They got a lineup full of hitters, I thought.
They need a first base.
To you, Manny Machado was gone.
Well, you're getting a call.
Get the call.
That was from Babe. But
Julie, you made the podcast. Congratulations.
congratulations.
Good job on
I
the
mean,
shirts.
listen, they need more out of Manny Machado. They need more Alexander Bogarts. I mean, Juan Soto finally maybe is coming out of it, but I have no answers for what, like, fire the manager? I don't know. Maybe they bought into all their hype too.
Do you think it's maybe just? I wonder if it's all the maybe a bunch of egos, maybe just not gelling. You think it'd be something like that?
I do.
I mean,
Well,
they got all
it
stars
has to be, right? Yeah.
That can't be easy to manage. If that is the situation,
But you gotta think about it. Like,
you would think like, oh well, it's easy to manage. You got all stars everywhere. But if there's egos everywhere, that's got to be hard to manage.
Well, I mean, what? So, like, what? Manny Machado's upset because he's not hitting third? I mean, I don't.
You don't think it's a thing? I bet that's a thing.
I'm sure it is a thing.
if it was you, it would be a thing.
Well, listen, I should hit third. You know what? When you're the coach and the player, you should put yourself where you want.
That's
Right?
true. We'll move on. The New York Yankees.
Yeah.
What's going on there, Josh?
Well, listen, Tampa Bay is just off to such a hot start. I mean, they got such a big lead, but New York's got to stay healthy. It's the same old story as it is every year. But somehow they're winning ball games. Aaron Judge, 4 home runs in 4 games, or 5 home runs in 4 games, or something like that.
Best player in the world.
Robin home runs, he's playing out of his mind, and that's really one of the big reasons they're in it.
Getting pitch tipping from the dugout.
Yeah.
Letting him know it's coming.
It worked for Altuve.
It did. It's working for Judge, too. I mean, listen, they're just not as good as the Orioles.
I like the Orioles.
Well, listen, I like what they've done.
Yeah.
The Orioles need to add something at the break. They need to add some pitching. But,
Right.
And, I mean,
listen,
how's your buddy Carlos Rondon, dude?
Hasn't played yet.
Oh,
Still
yeah.
waiting.
Where is he?
Just get healthy for a second half.
I do believe I did see an article that said, or Tremaine said he would use less resin next time he pitched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't get sticky hands. Can't have sticky hands.
Oh.
Well, like, they better pick it up because there's a lot more.
Is Boone's job on the line if they don't get it done this year? Like,
No.
I feel like we have this talk every year. And I feel like it should.
Aaron Boone's like khaki pants. They'll give him a million chances.
I mean, khaki pants beat us twice. Back to back.
Well, listen, it's not George ain't running it anymore. I think Aaron Boone keeps coming out winning 100 games every year, makes playoffs.
I can do what Aaron Boone does.
Yeah.
He could also play linebacker for the Ohio State Buckeyes.
I could have, and we would have won.
Listen, I they got to get healthy if they want to make a run. If the pitching staff can stay healthy, I really love their pitching staff. But again, it's the same old story. I don't know how the strength and conditioning coaches keep their jobs after these past 3 seasons.
Maybe it's just bad player selection.
Maybe.
Like, it took him this long to get rid of Hicks. And he hasn't played a complete season in like 5 years.
Yeah.
Or even close to a complete season.
I just seen Aaron Hicks drive a golf ball like 414.
I saw he already got a job
Drew can golf. He's with Baltimore.
with Baltimore.
Yeah, he's an Oriole.
He'll probably hit 300 the rest of the year.
Well, listen, isn't that what the Yankees usually do?
Yeah, that's true. What about the Guardians, Chad?
Oh, they're bad.
They're bad.
They're so bad. Well, listen, there's
Josh Bell stinks.
Yeah.
He stinks.
Well, listen, I mean, when he came from San Diego, like, it's a little different when you're protected by Tatis, Machado, and Soto. In those 4, you're like, yeah, I'll go after Josh Bell. He's protected by Jose and
Naylor.
Josh Naylor.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a fun story. Yeah.
Our pitching staff is in shambles too.
Well, yeah, and we can't hit or they just played above themselves. I felt last year, like their batted ball in play percentage on, like their average was ridiculously high. It ain't that high this year. So you're not getting the same hits you got last year. And you think it would be better without the shift?
Yeah, you think.
Yeah,
No,
this is
no.
dumb. Let
Um,
them shift.
Absolutely.
question for you guys: if you had to pick a team right now that's surprising you, other than Baltimore, we already talked about that.
That didn't surprise me.
Who would it be? Like a team that you didn't think or is playing better than you thought they would at this moment.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's
Listen,
insane.
And I said this. You can go back. I said Pittsburgh would be pretty good. O'Neal Cruz, like if he didn't go down, they might win that division.
Well, Brian Reynolds is a freak.
Yeah.
And they just locked him up.
Yeah. Brian Hayes can play. They got a couple. That Castillo guy, he can really pitch. Their closer's really good. Like things are looking up in Pittsburgh.
For sure.
Will they lock up enough to stay relevant?
I think they'll lock it up. Like
I think they will now that they did Reynolds.
I think it's
I think
about
that's a
locking
sign.
up the right guys for them.
That's what I mean.
well, I think it's about bringing in the right because O'Neal Cruz can really. I mean, he might be on a different level. Like he's super fast. He can hit 40 bombs a year. He might, might go down as one of the best shortstops ever if he can stay healthy.
Right.
But like, who are you going to bring in to help?
Yeah.
What veteran can you bring in? Somebody that's not Carlos Santana or G-Man Choi.
Right.
I really wish Santana was a Guardian. Give me a reason to watch.
I have no reasons. The Tigers are better than them.
They're bad. What about your Metropolitans, Josh?
They do Mets things. Spend a lot of money, blow up at some point, and blow it up right now.
For sure.
Set the fire, let it burn.
Disappointing team, the Phillies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loaded.
Loaded.
Well, Trey Turner hasn't played like he did.
That's sometimes what you get. It's hard to live up to big contracts sometimes. But listen, Trey Turner will be fine. Trey Turner can
Yeah.
It took Bryce a couple of years after he got that big contract there. Philly's not an easy place to play.
No.
Like they want to win now.
And I'll let you know.
Oh, they'll let you know. They'll let you know.
What about our World Series champs? How are we feeling about Houston right now?
They're going to be fine. They're pretty fit. Listen, Texas is probably playing above what Texas.
I mean,
should be
Texas made
playing.
big moves in the
Listen,
offseason.
big moves and a really good proven manager.
Yeah.
a huge upgraded manager.
Well,
than they've had.
when you get that guy knows how to win the World Series.
Right.
He won the World Series with Giants players I never even heard of.
Right. He's proven.
He is. So, when you have him, I'm sure it helps.
Correct. So Texas has played really well, and they'll probably compete throughout the season. But once Astros get healthy, they went through stretches. They've been through competing late in the season and postseason.
Maybe they're like the '90s Bulls. They'll just coast,
Just hang out,
win the West Lake,
hang outside the door of the party.
Yeah.
And when it's time to come in, they announce themselves.
Go to the Bronx.
Doing 2 shots and going to town.
Yeah, go to the
So let's talk about
the Yankees.
The best team in Major League Baseball. The Oakland A's.
Las Vegas.
So I think they should go to Las Vegas and call them the Las Vegas Aces. That'd be sweet.
Okay.
Isn't there another?
I think they should be fined for their payroll. That's what I think.
They're trying not to win.
Yeah, I think you should be fined for that. I don't understand how that's acceptable.
It's crazy.
Somebody told me that they had 826 fans at one of their home games. 826 people. And they were ushering people that were trying to sneak down. They were ushering them out of the stadium. Wouldn't you want them?
No,
Down
they
there?
want to move. They're tired of being there.
Well, I'd be tired of them being there too.
They're wanting every excuse to keep that number low, the attendance number low. They're out the door.
Speaking of Oakland, I want you guys to go look. Oakland drafted a quarterback in football this year. He's the spitting image of Derek Carr. They're the same person. They drafted Derek Carr. You got free time. Take a look. It's crazy. I'm that's Derek Carr. I didn't I'm just looking. No, it's their new quarterback. They drafted Derek Carr 2.0.
Okay.
Anything else? Anything on your mind, Chad?
No. I'm waiting for Slam Diego
What about you, Josh?
to get hot.
Well,
The Arizona Diamondbacks are shocking. They have some young guys that can really play.
I saw a list today of teams that have never lost in the World Series.
Florida Marlins.
Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
Can we name the rest? I
That
can't.
have never lost. Well, I know Florida has it.
Washington?
Arizona. They've never lost?
Yeah, they were
in
in
two,
those.
right?
Yeah, they've never lost.
They've only won one, right?
Well, technically they won the Senators.
Yeah, I don't care about
Walter Johnson.
Yeah, I don't care about
I'd really have to sit and think. I don't know if I'd be.
that. No, that's not Atlanta. It's
Well, what
not
teams
the
have never
Mets.
been to a World Series?
Texas hasn't won a World Series.
No. But they've been to a World
Seattle
Series.
hasn't won a World Series.
I don't think Seattle's ever been to the World
So
Series.
they can't. They haven't lost one then.
Right. Seattle's never been there. Who else hasn't been there? Milwaukee?
No, they have. The Brew Crew.
There's somebody else that hasn't been there.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right. I think there's no team like it.
I know it's definitely Seattle.
That'll be our hardball question of the week. Leave in the comments who you think has never lost a World Series. Chad will be commenting on it, letting you know if you're wrong or not.
Oh, no. I know Seattle for 100%.
I know Washington, they were on the list.
Never been to a World Series.
Never.
All right. I think that's it today. As we said earlier, we got a lot of cool things happening this summer. Be on the lookout for that. And we're just really happy to be back weekly talking sports.
We're back.
We're back.
I missed it.
We're back.
If you have anything you guys want us to talk about, leave comments. Chad loves talking about random things, so.
I do.
Ashland All-Star game next week.
Ashland All-Star game on the 7th.
Yeah, come out. It's a good time.
You'll see a lot of these players on this list there.
Yeah, get some ice cream at the Red Barn.
Yep.
Watch 7 innings of softball. It's going to be pretty
Good softball.
Yeah, it'll be very good
softball.
It is good softball.
Listen, I honestly thought when we coached that last year that it was going to be nerve-wracking. That was probably the most fun I've ever had.
Well, we won.
Well, yeah, listen, we didn't win, but it's easy to write Stud as a leadoff, stud in a 2-hole, stud in a 3-hole, stud in a 4-hole. It was kind of nice.
It is. And you broke the rules. So.
I did not break the rules.
You did.
How did I break the rules?
All the South Central girls on one team.
Well, they only gave me one pitcher. So they said, who do you want? Of course I want my own girls. They gave the other team 3 pitchers, I had 1.
I'm just saying they said you broke the rules.
Josh breaks rules. That's what he does.
That's what he does.
3-1 winner.
Usually it's a Chad thing. That day it was
Me?
a Josh thing.
I'm by the book.
If I were to say, describe.
A book with no words.
By the book.
He's not gonna read the book. So.
I might have written the book, but it's by the book.
Alrighty, thanks for watching, guys, and as always, reach out today so you can play better tomorrow.
See you guys.